Hello everyone. So last time what we have did discrete sample space and continuous sample space and a random variable. Okay, type of random variable, that is discrete type and continuous type. Okay, so today we will learn that what's discrete probability distribution and continuous probability distribution. So we know a discrete random variable takes certain values, right? Countable values, that means, and these countable means we can count them, or you can put in a 1-1 correspondence with the set of natural numbers, right? If it is possible, then you can call that set as a countable set. Okay, and the values that your random variable takes, you will get some probability values, as we have done in an earlier video, that corresponding to the value of the random variable you have some probability distribution, that is you have some value of the probability corresponding to that value, right? So let us see by some examples. So we are tossing two coins, okay, or you can say a coin two times. So you have a sample space, okay, so like this, and suppose I'm choosing my random variable, or I'm defining my random variable like number of heads obtained. Okay, so how many possibilities are there? Either I'll get no head, or I'll get one head, okay, or I'll get two heads. So I have to they are asked me to find the probability distribution corresponding to these values. So if x equals to 0, that means I'm getting no heads, that is probability of getting tail, that is 1 upon 4. Possible value is 1 and the total number of outcomes are 4, so it will be 1 upon 4, right? And if x equals to 1, that means I'm getting one head. So what are the possible values? So it will be head tail, or tail head, or head tail, right? So probability corresponding to these value will be, so 2 are possible outcomes, so 2 by total number of outcomes, that is 4, so it will be 2 by 4 again. And next, for a value x equals to 2, that means I'm getting two heads. The possible values corresponding to this will be head, right? So probability corresponding to this value, that is x equal to 2, will be 1, number of favorable cases, that is 1, and total number of cases, that is 4, right? So it will be 1 upon 4. So this function is known as probability distribution function, okay? But in case of discrete type random variable, you call this function as a probability mass function. So this is very important, right? So in general we call it as a probability distribution, whether it's a continuous type distribution or a discrete type distribution, okay, you call it as a probability distribution function, this f of x. Okay, in some books it is denoted by p of x as well. Okay, so just to signify that it's PMF, and it is defined in case of discrete type random variable, but in this book they usually notated by f of x, right? So in case of discrete type random variable, we call this function f of x as a probability mass function. So this is important, okay? In questions you may find it very often, okay? So this ordered pair, so let us define it in a proper way. Ordered pair x f of x is a probability function, or you can call it as a probability mass function in case of discrete type random variable. This is a special name for this, okay? Or probability distribution of a discrete type random variable x if for each value of x it satisfies the following properties. Your function, this f of x, will satisfy the following properties. Number one, it will be positive, because this is a probability distribution, and you know that it will always be positive, it will never be negative. So f of x, the values will always be positive, right, for all value of x. And summation of x, you know that the sum of probabilities, all the probabilities will equals to 1. So this is that property that it is written in this form, okay? The summation over x, where x is nothing but, in our example it was 0, 1 and 2. So when you sum it, it will give you the value 1. You can see here as well, okay? 1 upon 4, 2 upon 4, and 1 upon 4. This, when you sum all these values, you will get 1, right? So this is what this second property is saying. And you are defining p of x, that is probability at any point equals to f of x. This is how you define this function, right? On the other way, in a case of continuous type random variable, or you can say a continuous probability distribution, is defined in a similar fashion, right? But the thing is, this function, the name of this function f of x, will change to, earlier it was, in case of discrete type random variable, it was probability mass function, but in case of continuous type random variable, we call it as a density function, or probability density function. Density function, you may find it in some sort of questions, okay? You may find it quite often. They use density function instead of probability density function, but both are the same things, okay? So you call this function f of x as probability density function, or probability distribution, or probability function as well, okay? So if this is a function. Okay, so let's divide it in a proper way. So it satisfies the following properties. In case of discrete, so our first property is quite same. Okay, so it will give, as this will also a probability distribution, it will always be a positive number, right? So it will always be greater than equal to 0 for all value of x, right? And second, in case of continuous type random variable, we use integration. Okay, so probability distribution is defined from minus infinity to infinity. F of x dx will equals to 1. That is, it will give you some area. Okay, so total area will give you 1, right? So you define probability in such a way. So probability from a to b in any interval, because as it's x is a continuous type random variable, so probability of any interval, it is defined in such a way, that is from integration a to b f of x dx, that is area under this curve from a to b. Okay, so this is a probability. This is how you define the probability in case of continuous type random variable. So this is quite important. Their name are quite important, because their name will tell you the distinction between the random variables, that whether your random variable is discrete or continuous. If in question they have defined a density function, then you will know from that value, or you can say from that term, that if they use density function, that means your random variable is a continuous type random variable. And if they use the term probability mass function, then that means you will be in the discrete type random variable. Okay, so let's see the next term, which we have a continuous distribution, cumulative distribution function. Okay, so this is also very important, and we have also seen this, that this cumulative function will also tell you that whether your random variable is discrete or continuous. As if it is a continuous function, okay, as it's a function, and if it is a continuous function, then you call your random variable as a continuous type random variable. And if it is a monotonically non-decreasing function, okay, but have discontinuities, then you will say this is a then x will be a discrete type random variable. Okay, so let us see how we define this, our cumulative distribution function. In short, we write it as CDF. Okay, so denoted by capital F of x. So this thing you must keep in mind. Our random variable x with probability distribution small f of x is defined as f of x equals to p of x is less than equals to small x, where small x is nothing but it varies from minus infinity to infinity, is defined as summation t less than equals to x f of t, right? In case of discrete type random variable, as your random variable can be of two types, so we define in two ways. In case of discrete random variable, we define in one way, and in the case of continuous type random variable, we define it in the other way. So both defining up to here are same, but next when you implement them, then here we use the summation in case of discrete type random variable, and in case of continuous type random variable, we use the integration. So it is the integration from minus infinity to x f of x dx, and your x is varying from minus infinity to x. So in case of continuous type random variable, we define it this distribution function, cumulative distribution function, in this way, right? So next we see that how do we differentiate, or you can say how do we identify that what kind of random variable we are dealing with in any particular question, because this is the most important thing that we will notice in, or you can say that we will try to find in any particular question. Because if you know that this is the kind of random variable, then you can go further. If you fail to do so, then you will be whatever the answer you will get, you will be on a wrong side, and you will not get a proper say marks, or you will not get a right answer, right? So let us see. First we will see that how do we identify that whether our random variable is a discrete or not. So if in any question that you deal with, if they have mentioned about anything about probability mass function, so if they said something about probability mass function in your question, then that means you are in a discrete type random variable, that is your random variable is a discrete type random variable. Or if function is defined, okay, probability mass function is defined, but they have not said in this way. They said the distribution function of the random variable x is this, but the values of the x will be there, like x will take value 0 1 2 3 and up to so on. So if this kind of things will be there in the question, then your x is taking countable values, then you will say that your random variable is a countable your random variable is a discrete type random variable. Okay, or if CDF is given, that is cumulative distribution function is given, as I just told you earlier, that, and if you draw it and you see that if it is a non-decreasing and you have some discontinuities or countable discontinuities, then you will say your random variable is a discrete type random variable. Or if they simply mentioned, sometimes they simply mention that yeah, you are in a discrete type random variable. So all these are just hints to see that whether your random variable is a discrete type random variable or some other random variable. Okay, so if any one of them will be there in a question, then from that you will directly implement that that your random variable is a discrete type random variable. On the other hand, for other random variable, that is a continuous type random variable, if they mention anything about the probability density function in your question, or sometimes in some books they use simply a density function as well. Okay, so this thing you must keep in mind. So if they use probability density function or density function, then you will directly implement from that your random variable is a continuous type random variable. Or if your x is taking uncountable values, or you can say values in the interval, then you will say your x is a continuous type random variable. Or if you find that your CDF will be given in the question, and if you find that your CDF is a continuous function, monotonically non-decreasing and a continuous function, then you will say that your random variable is a continuous type random variable. Or they simply mentioned about that whether your random, this sometimes they have already given you like that x is a continuous type random variable, then you will get to know that yes, you are in a continuous type random variable. So if any one of them will be there in the question, then you can directly implement from that your random variable is a continuous type random variable. And this is very very important to know whether your random variable is a discrete type random variable or a continuous type random variable in the first place. Okay, so if this is you will get in the first place, then you can move further to solve a question. So let us see one question. So question is written here. Okay, so what they have given us is they have talked about the density function. Okay, in the question they have told about the density function. So by using we have just seen here, so they have used the density function. That means my random variable is a continuous type random variable. So first thing I have identified that I am in a continuous type random variable. Now I know that whether I need to use the summation or integration. As it's a continuous type, that means I'll go with the integration kind of stuff, right? So they said that density function is given, and they asked me to find f of y, that is capital F of y. So you must know it. Okay, notation you must know it. So that means they are asking about the CDF. So how you will find the CDF? So you will break this interval into three parts, right? So first will be when your x, I'm just changing this equation to x. Okay, so in place of y I use x. So when your x is less than 2 upon 5b. So suppose here you have 2 upon 5b. Okay, so and again and here you have 2b. So when your small x, when your small x is lies in you can say less than 2.5, somewhere here. Okay, so there's no probability that is assigned to any number. That means your function is not defined in this domain from here to this small x when x is less than 2 by 5b, right? So that means f of x will be 0, or you can say f of y will be 0. So I'll put 0 here, so I'll get the answer 0, right? So when your x is less than 2 upon 5b, I'll get 0. So when my x will lie between this 2 upon 5b and 2b, right? So that means function is defined in this interval. Function is defined like 5 upon 8b. So it is defined, and I just calculate it, and I'll find that I'll get this 5x upon 8b minus 1 upon 4, right? If my x is greater than 2b, right, that means here, so from here minus infinity to here, function is defined only in this interval, not in this. For this kind of like if x is greater than 2b, then you will get 0. But in this domain from 2 upon 5b to 2b, function is defined, right? And it is defined like 5 upon 8b. So I've just calculated as well. Okay, here you can check that okay, so if x is less than 2 upon 5b, it is 0. And if x is lies between 2 upon 5b, so I have solved it from 2 upon 5b to x. Okay, so as x is less than 2b, so we didn't know that x is equals to 2b, but it can be anywhere between 2 upon 5b to 2b. So I'm just taking it here as value x. Okay, so this thing you must keep in mind. But this x is lies between this 2 upon 5b and 2b, right? So this thing you must keep in mind. So I'll just put it and I'll just solve it, and I'll have this answer, right? And if my x is greater than 2b, so I know that my integration is from minus infinity to x, and my x is greater than 2b, but my function is defined. Okay, so my x is somewhere here, and I'm going from here to here, but my function is defined in this interval, that is from 2 upon 5b to 2b. So I'll just put the value of the function, and I calculate it, and I'll get 1, right? This is how I'll solve this question for first part, that is to find the CDF, that is cumulative distribution function. And the next part they are asking using it to determine the probability that the winning bid is less than Department of Energy preliminary estimate B, that is f of x is less than p, right? So how you will go for that? You know that this the question they are asking is y is less than equals to b. That means your estimation. Y is nothing but estimation which is less than. They have defined this random variable in such a way that this y is less than b, right? This estimation winning bid, you can define your y as a winning bid, okay, of DOE. So you can define your random variable y or x, whatever it is, so you can define it like this winning bid of DOE, which is they have said as less than b. So that means equation will become like this, okay? So y is less than b. So as it's a continuous type random variable, this equality doesn't matter much, right? So if you include it or not, that won't put much impact, right? So you will have p of y is less than b, but this is nothing but this is how we have defined our distribution function, right? So distribution function is defined like f of x is such that p of x is less than small x. So here in place of x we have y, and in place of small x we have b. So this will become f of b. So f of b lies in this interval, right? In this interval. So for corresponding to this interval we have some value. So in place of x we will put the value b. So when I put the value, I'll have 5 upon 8 minus 1 upon 4, that is 3 by 8. This is how I'll solve this question, right? So thank you very much. If you still find any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you very much.